Hello, hello. This is the My Artifact episode number 3546. Today's date is August 19, 2025. It's been almost like night at 9:51 p.m. All right, we directly jump into the question. All right, yeah. Question is: when I compare my financial status to other, I feel okay. Okay, what exactly is this question? It's a kind of like a new question that when you are trying to compare your financial status with someone else, how do you feel? Have you ever kind of like a feel that way, that the financial status and things like that? Yes, yeah. Let me okay, okay. Let me explain what is actually financial status and things like that. Okay, as simplified as possible as I can. Okay, yeah. Just 2 3 year ago. Okay, yeah. 2 3 year ago means like that in 2022, maybe 22, yeah, 23 maybe, yeah, 22, probably 22, yeah. So in 2022 my friend got a job. Okay, yeah. And okay, first of all is that i I got a job at the age of 23. Okay, yeah. Like when I was at the age of 23 or 24, maybe 24, I got a job and as a kind of like a something as a maintenance supervisor in thermal power plant. Okay, yeah. And at that time, I was actually earning 8,000 rupees, which is like a negligible. Yeah, at that time, it is also really negligible, but this is what it is. Okay, yeah, 8,000 rupees. I did a job for over there for 1 year, and then I realized that it's not really good for me. If I'm kind of like a somebody stuck here, I will not gonna progress myself. So basically I quit that job and kind of like a somebody started doing designing courses. Okay, AutoCAD Creo Katia for almost like a 8 months, and then I got a job in corporate sector, in design sector, by the way, CAD modeler, uh, computer aided design modeler. Okay, yeah. uh, so I was kind of like doing this particular designing stuff. That time I was actually earning 14,000 rupees. Yeah, like basically is this thing 14,000 something, that amount is actually getting like basically is this thing, if I take a leave then probably the deduction will gonna happen. Okay, yeah. But round figure 14,000 rupees I usually earn. Okay, yeah. Now basically is this thing na ki whatever the money that we are earning, the whatever the money that like I earning or whatever, whoever the person that we are earning, we are kind of like a simply good, or like a how much big amount of money, or how much like basically how much big amount of money or how much small amount of money. Money is money. Okay, yeah. And basically is this thing na ki when you are earning money very less, you are kind of like figuring out a lot of things regarding about budgets and things and so many stuff. I do that thing because I knew that I don't really have, I'm not really earning that much amount of money. 14,000 rupees is really negligible. Okay, yeah. So at that time I was kind of like somebody try to do a lot of cost cutting regarding about the stuff that I want and things and that. By the way, at that time I was kind of like living alone, so probably I don't really have that many expenses. Okay, yeah. So it is kind of like only really good for me. Like a 14,000 rupees, I know it's a very less amount of money, but at that time it is okay. Okay, it is okay. Then basically this thing, I lost my job in the COVID and I came home, and I knew that there are so many people are exist, they are actually earning that 1 lakh rupees, 2 lakh rupees per month. Okay, yeah. But I never really seen those people. Like I never really seen those people. Like basically is this thing that my mother told me that my relatives are earning so much amount of money, like they have almost like a 1 lakh rupees of salary and things like that. And I thought that yeah, okay, yeah, like basically is this thing na ki I just kind of like heard that ki some people is actually earn 1 lakh rupees amount of money, which is like a very extraordinary amount of money. Because I was kind of like a surviving in 14,000 rupees, and other people are earning 1 lakh rupees. Okay, yeah. So this is what kind of like a somebody I never really understand the gravity of, like I didn't, because I didn't really seen those people. In 2022, my friend got a job. Okay, yeah. And by the way, he just kind of like started doing a job. Okay, yeah. He never really have any kind of like some experience and things like that. He was kind of like a do the job in kind of like a corporate sector, and guess the salary. My one friend has almost like a 1 lakh rupees salary. Like soon as he joined, he got 1 lakh rupees salary. Well, what the fuck? Like basically this is his starting salary, 1 lakh rupees. And I was like, oh my god. And I was kind of like a somebody that ki, like then I understand the value of the money. Okay, yeah. Because it's just like that, na ki like let's just say that ki you are kind of like a running the race. Okay, yeah. Your friend, all your friend are actually running the race. Okay, yeah. And basically is this thing, some people actually kind of like a somebody forward or backward, but kind of like a distance between them is kind of like a very minimum. Okay, yeah. Or kind of like a achievable. But when you realize that ki your one friend is actually going so much far away, then you realize that, oh my god, he went so much far away. This is what exactly is it. Like when my friend is actually kind of like a somebody had like a salary of 1 lakh rupees, I was like, dude, 1 lakh rupees of salary. Yeah. I was like jackpot, dude. Yeah. Like this is like a really legit. Okay, yeah. So at that time, what I feel at that time, I feel little bit of something jealous. I'm being really honest that ki I feel little bit of jealous regarding about that ki how much that particular person earned that much amount of money. Okay, yeah. And it was kind of like something that ki just blows my mind. Okay, yeah. Regarding about money, okay, yeah. This is just a simple example. Okay, because I'm belong to the such a society where very less amount of people are earning very big amount of money. Okay, yeah. Like I found there is almost like a couple of people. Okay, yeah. But I know that in the future I will gonna hang out with such a people who are kind of like earn such a money that you just kind of have to question that ki what those people are actually doing that for. Like let me tell you one thing. Okay, yeah. Ki like in your corporate sector, okay, yeah, whatever the effort that you do, whatever the responsibility that you have, you actually earn money regarding about that, right? Yeah. But when you went to the kind of like the creative field, like a YouTube and influence kind of like a stuff, then things might be even more crazier, dude. Even more crazier. Like you just can't even understand. Yeah. Like some people who are just making the TikTok, okay, yeah. You just kind of like a silly that yeah, like why those people are kind of like a dancing in this video and things like that. It just like it felt joke. Like we didn't really like when we are watching, we didn't really emphasize them that yeah, they are dancing and things like that. Like yeah. But dude, for that particular thing, how much they charge for that just 30-second reel? Can you guess? They charge for almost like a 2 lakh, 3 lakh rupees. Sometime it gets 10 lakh rupees for just 30 seconds of dance reel. I was like, what the fuck? 10 lakh rupees. Yeah. And I'm not legit kind of like somebody saying this thing like a stupid. No, they're like a very legit. Like basically is this thing na ki there is a kind of like a influencer named Rebel Kid. Okay, yeah. I'm a little bit jealous regarding about her, but not really jealous. She did a lot of effort for being all those things, but like her content is a kind of like a travel content. Okay, yeah. Like basically is this thing, she just kind of like a travel all around the world and she just tell the experience regarding about how she feel while she was traveling. Okay, yeah, this is her content. But the way that the way that she served that content is a very differently, like a very kind of like a somebody just like a very like a offensive language. Okay, yeah, like she's a kind of like a somebody girl, and basically she, when she was kind of like a using such a word, the people get kind of like a somebody very crazy that he like basically is this in na ki actually, like I'm talking about as Indian point of perspective. Okay, that ki like we haven't really seen a girl who's kind of like a using that much offensive language. Okay, yeah, and I didn't really seen that much. Maybe I might be seen, but very less. Like usually males are kind of like a so much offensive are here, offensive words are used are here, but the females are used very less. But the that rebel kid influencer, she is using those offensive word always, and more people like most of people are actually connected with that thing. Okay, yeah. It's not like basically it's not really fault, like everyone does that thing. She is kind of like accept her fate. She's kind of like yeah, say this thing, whatever. So basically is this thing na ki just couple of days ago I was kind of like a somebody just kind of like a somebody, there are like in YouTube, I'm a YouTuber, so I was kind of like looking at her kind of like a somebody that ki how much money that she was earning. Okay, yeah. So basically for one reel, okay, yeah, when she make a reel, how much money that she earn, and this is actually a sponsorship. Okay, so basically she earn money from the sponsorship. She is not earning money from Instagram or YouTube. No, like a sponsorship is actually giving them money to kind of like a travel the rest of the world, and kind of like we give the money and things like that. And you just kind of like a mention our tour name and things like that. Yeah. So how much she is earning money? Just can you guess? By the way, her Instagram follower is probably, I'm not really sure, but couple of million, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 or maybe 5 million. I'm not really sure, but yeah, this is what it is. And she was earning like in lakhs, and not just 1 or 2 lakhs, like 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs for 30-second reel. I was like, what the fuck? She was earning 20, 30, 10 lakh, 20 lakh rupees in just like, I don't know, dude. Okay, yeah. So this is kind of like a somebody just beginning of the craziness. Like this is kind of like a somebody that key, like when you went into this particular field of line, then you realize that key how money can talk. Okay, and this is just a first step. A first step. If you went even more further, like if you went to the Bollywood movies, or kind of like somebody casting any actor, or kind of like somebody is this thing, then it went to kind of like a crore. Yeah, it went to crore. And when we are talking about the business, bhai sahab. But bhai, like business is kind of like something very different, because in the business there is kind of like a something real work, or kind of like a something established and things like that. But still, this is what it is. But dude, I think that na ki I kind of like understand that ki in the end I wanted to kind of like simply live my life in this work of line. Okay, I will gonna know those people and things and something like that. Okay, yeah, like I will like basically this thing I am doing YouTube for last 5 year. Okay, yeah, I am not earning any single amount of money. I put effort every single day. Okay, but after all those things I am not earning any money. Okay, yeah, and some people are just kind of like upload 30-second reel and they are earning lakhs and lakhs rupees. So I feel a little bit of envy regarding about that. Well, probably it's not. Okay, because this is the work of line, it's a very different. Okay, yeah, it kind of like somebody said like a stuff that I mentioned, that ki she was actually earning 10 lakh rupees for one reel. Okay, yeah, but let me tell you one thing, this is the work of line is kind of like a very limited amount of time. Means like that ki, like basically you are earning this much amount of money for limited amount of time, and then after that something happened, something not happened, and yeah, like a social media is kind of like a some game of kind of like a some influence. You are getting really influence for particular person in particular period of time. it's a kind of like a small trend. Okay, yeah, like a trend comes and goes. Same thing happened with the influencer. Okay, yeah, they are kind of like comes and goes and things like that. So basically when they are trending, they are earning too much amount of money, and then when they are not, then probably nothing really at all. Okay, yeah, whatever. So I kind of like understand that how does money and things like that, but I will kind of ask this question to myself that ki why kind of like so many companies are kind of like giving lakhs and lakhs of rupees to those influencer. Why? Because obviously influencer are actually tracking attention. Okay, yeah, like a tracking attention, like most of people are actually looking at them, they wanted to know what exactly happened and things like that. So yeah, basically is this thing a Bollywood film industry or kind of like assembly the TV actor or film actor doesn't really kind of like assembly track that much attention. Okay, but influencer does, because influencer are actually kind of like assembly meant for tracking the attention. Okay, yeah, so they're gonna do a lot of things which is, I'm not really sure what is actually that, but yeah. So so basically what I'm trying to tell you is this thing, it's a kind of like a somebody life is something very different. Okay, yeah, sometimes you understand and sometimes you are not. And regarding about money, yeah, it's very, so what exactly is this thing, you, how do you feel when you are kind of like a simply seeing the other people is actually earning so much amount of money and you are not? Well, at the moment, yeah, like basically at this moment, I realize the value of money. Okay, yeah, and what is actually important and how much it is. Okay, yeah, I give them value to the money for particular period of time, which is kind of like a matter to me or not. Okay, yeah, because I understand that key life is not meant to be just about money. Obviously, with the money you can solve almost like a 90% of your problem will gonna solve through by money. Okay, yeah, but not every problem. Still 10% of the problem cannot be figured out by the money. Okay, yeah, and after all those things, I realized that ki if we wanted to grow in our life, we need a three things, like a multiple things, but basically if I'm gonna count out as a success means like that: money, respect, happiness. Okay, yeah, compassion, purpose, and there are multiple things too, but basically is this thing that ki success comes from all those things, not just money. Like if you consider that ki money equal to success, you are completely wrong. Money is a part of the success. Okay, yeah, there is a happiness, there is a compassion, there is a respect, there is a love and things like that. Okay, and when you have all those things, you called yourself as a success. I want that person. Okay, I'm not just want to earn money, but I want all those things too. Okay, and let me tell you one thing now, when you are kind of like doing this line of work like a social media and things like that, there are so many ways to do a shortcut to kind of like earn so much amount of money and things like that. I did that thing, I did that those shortcut thing, and I realized that ki shortcut doesn't really work. Like it work, like some people will kind of like use it and some people it kind of like simply work and things like that, but I realized that it's not. Okay, because if I wanted to play a long run, then probably I just have to kind of like simply take the hard step, and this is one of the most essential thing. Okay, so probably, okay, so how does I feel when other people actually so much amount of earning money and things like that? Does it kind of like only affect you? Well, probably is this thing na ki, well, from kind of like a word point of perspective, I'm gonna say that it will not gonna affect me, but in reality it will be. Okay, yeah, because I'm the human, and there are multiple things. Okay, so possibly is this thing, yeah, I will gonna affect, but it will not gonna affect me that much. Okay, yeah, probably, but I will gonna still choose a such a way that is kind of like a simply hard way, so that I don't know, dude. It's a kind of like a something. The decision is kind of like a very much fragile. Like you can't even say what is exactly right or exactly wrong. It just kind of like something in between. You have to figure it out regarding about that. Okay. So yeah. So basically what I feel when I see someone is actually earning so much amount of money, um I feel maybe little bit of envy at the first time. Envy means little bit jealous, but then after some sort of time I will understand myself, and then yeah, it's yeah. So this is what I feel. All right. Yeah. So this is it. And right now I just have to end here. And thank you.